We've reached part 4 of our episode series of 10 worst haram things in the religion of Islam, and we got many more to take a look at. Hey guys, what's happening? My name is Leroy Kenton, and this is FTD Facts. This is a channel where we share facts and information about the different countries, cultures, people, and religion from all around the world. And for this episode, part 4, some of these are going to be featured in the Quran, but most of them that I'm going to list in this episode will be from the Hadith, which are the records of the traditions of the Prophet Muhammad. Alright, anyways, let's jump into this episode. At number 10, we have displaying beauty. Over in the Quran, Surah 24 verses 31, it says, "And say to the believing women that they should lower their gaze and guard their modesty, that they should not display their beauty and ornaments except what must ordinarily appear thereof, that they should draw their veils over their bosoms and not display their beauty except to their husbands, their fathers, their husbands' fathers, their sons, their husbands' sons." The Quran passage then goes on to list the various categories of people that a woman should display her beauty to, or is allowed to display her beauty to, I should say. And then it continues to say, "And that they should not strike their feet in order to draw attention to their hidden ornaments. And O you believers, turn ye all together towards Allah, that you may attain bliss." Number 9, we have desiring other religions. So there's a passage that says, "And whoever desires other than Islam as a religion, never will it be accepted from him, and he in the hereafter will be among the losers." And that's found in Surah 3 verses 85 of the Quran. Now, number 8, the haram thing coming up is worshipping graves. Now, according to the Hadith in Sahih Muslim volume 4 number 1076, it says this: Habiba and Salama made a mention before the Messenger of Allah of a church which they had seen in Abyssinia and which had pictures in it. The Messenger of Allah said, "When a pious person amongst them, among the religious groups, dies, they build a place of worship on his grave and then decorate it with such pictures. They would be the worst of the creatures on the day of judgment in the sight of Allah." Number 7, another big one, is denying inheritance. Like, it's considered very haram for a father to deprive his children of receiving any inheritance, and also for a relative to deprive another relative of an inheritance unjustly. And we find mention of this in the Quran in Surah 4 verses 7 to 9, and it says, "For men is a share of what the parents and close relatives leave, and for women is a share of what the parents and close relatives leave, be it little or much, an obligatory share. And when the other relatives and orphans and the needy are present at the time of division, then provide for them something out of the estate and speak to them words of appropriate kindness. And let those executors and guardians fare in justice as if they themselves had left weak offspring behind and fared for them. So let them fear Allah and speak words of appropriate justice." Number 6 brings us to a very surprising one. I was pretty surprised when I saw this. Useless conversations. That is haram. According to the Hadith Sahih Bukhari volume 9 book 92 Hadith number 395, it says this: "He also wrote to him that the Prophet used to forbid kill and kal, which is idle useless talk, or that you talk too much about others, asking too many questions in disputed religious matters." I don't know, but I guess it's just my interpretation of that, where sometimes you may be talking about a particular topic. I know sometimes religious debates can get very, very, very heated, and you know that there's no end to that conversation, so sometimes you're just going around in circles. Or even if it's not a religious matter, people literally work themselves to stress. So this passage looks to be talking about something maybe similar to that, or something along those lines. Either way, guys, I do have some related videos that I definitely want to mention, especially those videos part 1, 2, and 3 in our series of haram things in Islam. I do have a link to them below in the video description section, as well as we talk about many other topics, different countries and cultures from all around the world. I'll have a link to a playlist below in the video description section as well, where you can watch a whole lot more videos and learn a lot about our world. Alright, so moving on to number 5, 2 marriages with 2 families at the same time. This is very haram. This is also known as shighar, and it is mentioned in the Hadith volume 9 book 86 Hadith number 90, and it says, "Nafi narrated to me that Abdullah said that Allah's apostle forbade the shighar. I asked Nafi, what is the shighar? He said, it is to marry the daughter of a man and marry one's daughter to that man at the same time, without mar in both cases, or to marry the sister of a man and marry one's own sister to that man without mar. Some people said if one by a trick marries in the basis of shighar, the marriage is valid, but its condition is illegal. Some others said the mut'ah and the shighar are permissible, but the condition is illegal. So again, there's various different beliefs around that. So there are various different beliefs about that, but either way, Muslims for the most part believe that you should stay away from being married into two families at the same time. Selling bad fruits comes in at number 4. According to the Hadith Sahih Muslim book 10, Hadith number 3665, it says, Umar reported that Allah's messenger forbade the sale of fruits until they were clearly in good condition. He forbade it in both to the seller and to the buyer. So yeah, stay away from spoiled fruits and just fruits that aren't ripe yet. Hiding a pregnancy, this is also big at number 3. Now this passage from the Quran is in the context of what to do in the waiting period during a Muslim divorce process. And you'll find this in the Quran, Surah 2 verses 228. And there's also mention of this in Surah 65 verses 4. The Quran says, divorced women remain in the waiting for 3 periods, and it is not lawful for them to conceal what Allah has created in their wombs if they believe in Allah and the last day. And their husbands have more right to take them back in this period if they want reconciliation. So based on this passage, Muslims believe that it is forbidden for women, whether divorced or married or whatever, to conceal a baby that's being created inside of their womb. The haram thing at number 2 is gambling, and we find this in the Quran, Surah 2 verses 219. They ask you about wine and gambling. Say, in them is a great sin, and yet some benefit for people, but their sin is greater than their benefit. And they ask you what they should spend. Say, excess beyond needs. Thus Allah makes clear to you the verses of the revelation that you might give thought. So we reached to number 1 in this episode. This haram thing is announcing lost things, like especially in a mosque. Now this is found in Sahih Muslim book 4, hadith number 1153, and there's a passage in it that says, the messenger of Allah said, if anyone hears a man crying out in the mosque about something he has lost, he should say, may Allah not restore it to you, for the mosques were not built for this. Alright guys, so that's all I have for you in this episode of part 4 of 10 worst haram things in Islam. I can't believe we made it to part 4. If you guys want to see more videos like this, let me know down below in the comments section. Also leave your thoughts and your feedback and just anything in general that you want to say down below as well. I love chit-chatting with you guys in the comments section. I also do have those recommended video links that I mentioned earlier. Just a reminder, those links are below in the video description section. They're packed with a lot more information. So if you came to this episode first and you're like, hey Leroy, there's some other haram things that you didn't mention, they're most likely in part 1, 2, or part 3. Again, those links are below in the video description section. All right guys, that is it for me. I'm gonna get out of here, work on some more videos for you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.